All right, guys, what's up? It's lesson number 7. So you spent 6 hours with me so far to dial in your viral. All right. And now we're going to put the cherry on top of the whole point of everything you're doing here is to find somebody who's a little more likely to sell their home than not, that knows you. So eventually you got to pick up the phone and start dialing. But hopefully, through everything we talked about these past 6 lessons, made that process more efficient. Right. So today we're going to talk about you yourself, and I'll also give you some insights on hiring someone, the different ways you can go about that to assist you in reaching out to all the people clicking the links in your emails, all the leads arguably coming in from your web forms. I'll even throw in there, we don't do it for you at Vyral, but if you go into your CRM, I'm sure if you have a fancy schmancy CRM, it'll tell you who's visiting your website, who's engaging with your stuff. Those people need to be reached out to and ask for an appointment. Got it? So that's today's lesson. How do we actually convert all of this marketing we've talked about into appointments with someone who's actually interested in giving you money? Fair enough? That's today. But let's spend the first 15, 20 minutes or so. It seems to go longer than normal. But, the whole industry right now is going through, what am I going to do to find somebody who wants to sell their house? Questions. And I want to make sure that you're very clear on what that strategy is so you can execute on it. So let's go back to lesson 1 and let's recap on all the lessons that we've learned so far up until lesson number 7 today. Let's do a recap. All right. So Rob, we'll start with you. You're in Phoenix. You want to go after highly motivated sellers. These are going to be people that must sell. There's a financial need, there's a death, there's a divorce, there's a bankruptcy, there's something going on in their life where they have to sell, not want to sell. Right, Rob? And you decided that we're going to show up on their door. We're going to flyer their door with an email. And yeah. Well, I guess you could flyer with an email. You could write them an email and instead of pressing send, put on their door. Right. But we're going to put a message on their door saying, I have a buyer, call me. Right.
Yes.
How you doing with what we decided executing on what we talked about in lesson 1? To build your database, how are you going to prospect and advertise correctly to build your database of the right people?
I have my first appointment today.
Oh, from flyering.
Yeah.
Did you put him out or did you hire somebody?
Hire someone.
Good man. All right. How many did they put out?
What's that?
How many did they put out?
Oh, just under 300.
So they flyered 300 doors. You did it.
Yeah.
How many calls did you get?
So far, we've had one phone call. It's new, but
and it turned into an appointment?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
100%.
I mean, I guess that's better than having 10 calls you have to go through to find an appointment, or 20 calls you have to go through to find an appointment.
That's right.
Good. Good for you. All right. Good. David, seller workshops, lesson 1. You wanted to go after a place, I believe, in Northwest Vegas, and you want to send them a letter to invite them to your seller workshop. Is that correct? How are you doing to answer the question for lesson 1, what are you doing to build your database of the right power prospect? Any questions on what we talked about in lesson 1?
So the letter was just sent earlier this week to invite them to the workshop.
Great. Which should be about 2 weeks from now.
It was sent, it's next week. So.
Okay. That's okay.
So the letter was sent, I think, at the beginning of this week. And so we did it 10 to 12 days before the 10 days before the workshop. I don't know. I wish I could go find out how many signups we had. A number of signups already. I'll see what it's up to and I'll report before we're done today.
Sure, that's fine. But you're doing it. You're taking action on it. You're trying to get a message in front of the homeowner, David. Great, right? And there's another agent doing these out of San Diego. I took some screenshots and sent them your way.
Thank you. I saw those. That was great. Thank you.
And it helps you with messaging,
yes.
Right? So that can help you out a lot. All right, Brandy, we've been talking about what you're going to do. Got your email. So this is actually really good today. You said that you want to focus on. We're still trying to figure out your recipe of how to build your database. All right. So your email said 2 things. One is you want to build your database through YouTube. Is that what you're committed to? And you can do it. It's okay. You can say
100%. Yes.
All right. So it's going to be YouTube. So generally more difficult to find sellers on YouTube. Generally speaking, it's probably more buyers. You've taken the training on YouTube if you want people to reach out to you from it. Okay. The most motivated leads on YouTube come from extremely niche content. Like, I'm going to cover, here's a tour of a senior living facility if you want to move into it. Or let me take you through a neighborhood where someone's highly motivated to buy and they want information on the area, right? Like super, super niche will get you the more motivated leads on that, right? In addition to that, I can give you a whole bunch of YouTube channels of people's whose content you can just totally steal with their topics and everything else that I'm told it works well for them. Do you have any questions for me on how to get people to find you on YouTube?
No, I understand the niche information, and that's what I was thinking. Maybe I would start with, because I had originally talked about seniors, and then, but I think maybe a good video would be like the top 3, maybe senior living communities in around the Austin area, and then I could, go tour them and walk through the model homes.
Of course. Totally. You just got to figure out what is somebody who's motivated by or sell a home that's near kind of the bottom of the funnel decision. What are they typing on YouTube as a search engine to learn more? And then you pop up, let them know that you're a realtor, let them know they can contact you, get the deal done, and then educate them. Name of the game. All right. And it goes well with the email that you sent me earlier, is that you really want to go after your database. That's today. We're going to talk about calling and working the database proactively in addition to just the marketing for today's lesson. Okay. So all 3 of you have your strategy to build your database and advertise correctly for lesson 1. Lesson 2, making sure I have all the contacts of your cell phone, all the contacts in your email account, all the contacts from your CRM, fully exported, scrubbed and cleaned inside your email marketing account. In addition to that, there's an integration set up. So whenever you add someone to your CRM or you update someone in your CRM, it updates your email marketing account. And not only are all those contacts in your email marketing account, they are also in your Facebook ad account as a custom audience. And there's also an integration set up. So whenever you add someone or update someone in your CRM, it updates the custom audience. That way, when you add or put the right person into your CRM, it goes to your email marketing account and it goes to your Facebook custom audiences to get the marketing. Fair enough? Let's make sure I have the right databases on file. And I'll even throw in there as well, we have the Metapixel installed on all of your websites so I can follow all your website traffic around. That way, when we have a message, we make a video, I guess I can put it up online and get people to find it, sure, with SEO, but I can push it out through email to everyone and it's updated. And I can put it on social media, at least Facebook and Instagram, and get them to see it. Got it? That's lesson number 2. There's a whole training on that. Lesson 3, making 2 videos a month. So these videos are kind of going to be more broad in scope, Brandy. Your database videos, I want more broad, like kind of general questions that would appeal to past clients and sphere, about buying or selling, answering commonly asked questions from the community. Those 2 videos a month are going to be for your database. We talked about this, scheduling a monthly appointment with us to record 2 helpful video tips. And yes, they're going to go on YouTube and get SEO'd, but they're broad in nature, okay? Because your database is broad. We don't do this for you at Vyral, but if you're going to go on YouTube and try to generate new business, new leads on Vyral, you're going to have to go super niche. The riches are in the niches, down to like the neighborhood level, the building level type of journalism, effectively. You're effectively a journalist if you're going to use YouTube to generate leads. Fair enough? Is the way you would think about it. On hyper niche, hyper local content that is very relevant to somebody who's ready to write a large check. All right, and to try and get insight. Brandy, you might want to look into what CoStar is doing. They're hiring video crews and photographers. As far as I remember, this might be changed, but they were contracting out to take on Zillow. All like videographers and photographers to like feature the area as opposed to the home. Got it? So Zillow owns the home, right? They don't have any content on the area. That's how CoStar, from what I was reading, wanted to compete. And that's really what you're doing to provide some value there in lesson 1. Okay. So lesson 2 is your 2 videos a month. Any questions on the 2 videos a month that go out to the database to nurture them for lesson 3? Okay. Lesson 4. Okay. Are they getting 1 lead generation email a month? So 2 videos a month and 1 lead generation email. Lead generation email could be any call to action. And I have a whole bunch of them. Remember that lesson? I went through all the different offers, find out what your home is worth, register for my seller workshop, get a cash offer on your home, get a pre-listing improvement. One of the messages we're working on now is it's probably not an ideal time to sell your home. Let's be real, like right now in like the depths of winter, as everyone's dealing with an 8.5% 30-year loan. But if you are thinking of selling next year, you might want to think about what improvements you might want to make to your home now, remodeling it. So when it does come time to put it on that ripe spring market, it's ready to fetch a maximum sales price. Let's do a remodeling consultation right now. Let's talk about what kitchens and bathrooms we should look into remodeling. So when the timing is just perfect, that perfect week comes up, that perfect time to list your home comes up, your home is ready for a buyer who can't afford to make any of those updates at 8.5% mortgage, right? So that message is resonating really right now to generate those types of leads. So that's lesson number 4, the monthly lead generation email. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. Lesson 5. Let me pull these up, by the way. Hey, Frank, I'm not getting results. Help me audit my viral marketing. Okay. Question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5. Your best contacts, your true list. And this is what a lot of the industry is going through right now when you go through tough times, is you have to sit down and audit your database of actually building a list of your key relationships. Do you have an actual mailing list of street addresses, contact information of your really good seller leads, your really good buyer leads, your actual past clients, your friends on Facebook, right? Do we have a real list of your best contacts? And are we going to trust social media? And are we going to trust email to get that message to them? The answer is no. We're going to trust the post office. So we're going to make sure we take the messages that you're putting down in your videos, these messages here, we're going to put them on a letter and mail them a letter once a month and spend a little money on that. And Brandy, this is what we're going to talk about today. This is the list you're going to call. You're also going to call them today too. And we're going to go through that. All right. Then, of course, the next message is
Frank.
Go ahead.
Real quick, just a question with this. So
great.
Before I didn't have that list put together. I've put together that list now. Now that I have that mailing list, what do I need to do, and how can Vyral help me to get that out?
So I want you to put it in a Google Sheet.
Okay.
And share it with us. We can put it in your folder here at Vyral. So all of our clients, we have a Google Drive. Whether you create the sheet and share it with us, or we create the share it with you, let's just make sure that Google Sheet is in your folder, your client folder. All right.
Okay.
And you should have first name, last name, street address, city, state, zip. Got it? Maybe even a phone number, email too. That's fine. And notes. I don't care. All right. And that's all we need. That's it. And then what we'll do is we'll put together the 1-page letter, which we spent on meeting number 5. I showed you the letter. We'll put that together for you. We'll make sure that it's good. Pay attention. You're spending some money on this. We can't change it after you order it. It's a little heavier weighted. It's like a heavier gravity on a letter than an email. Okay. Make sure it's good. And then we'll go to letterprinting.net or ITI direct mail nowadays. And it's like sending an email. We'll upload your list. We'll upload the PDF and press send and bill your card directly for whatever the costs are. And that goes out. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Don't discount that. You're going to see a lot of return to meeting number 5 on the physical mail to your key contacts big time in the coming months, if not years, if rates stay where they're at. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Meeting number 6. Okay. Let's use some social media. Not much, but let's load up all of our warm audiences, that we talked about, and let's make sure that they're seeing you and you're retargeting them with your educational videos. And that was last week's lesson. So let's end there. We're about 15 minutes in. Do you guys have any questions on last week's lesson? Well, let's do retargeting. Hey, I want to do social media retargeting. Well, I showed you last week. Brandy, any questions on that? Our whole staff watches these videos. We meet every day, literally going through steps 1 through 8 over and over and over and over at Vyral. Okay. Okay. So it's time for meeting number 7. Let's do this. Are the people who watch your videos and opting into your web forms getting called? All right. So let me pull up my agenda for today on that. I'll put this in the chat. Okay. So here is, yep, here we go. So here's the lesson for today. Where's my chat? Everyone. There we go. Okay. So we just started with a recap on the progress so far. And I alluded to the whole point of the Vyral plan is to make your prospecting more efficient. Nobody's going to reach out. You're not really going to get people reaching out to me and say, come list my house. You might. Okay. But this marketing is shaking the trees of people who are engaging so you can reach out and call them. And here's the reality is that you're going to have to put time in your schedule to make prospecting calls. Probably 2 types of calls. You know, you're going to have the calls and the reach outs or whatever work you're doing for lesson 1. And then you're going to have the calls and the reach outs that you're doing for lesson number 7. But the point is that you have to set aside time and you're going to have to reach out to people. There's no way around it. Typically speaking, the number of attempts that I find is reasonable for someone every single day is I have a list of 50 people I got to get through. I'm going to text them. I'm going to call them. I'm going to email them. Every single day, I want the most efficient list of 50 people. Does that make sense? Like, give me a list of 50 people that are the most likely to refer me or the highest propensity that already know I can trust me, that have watched my videos, that will talk to me, that will answer the phone, and that they themselves, they might know someone who's looking to buy or sell a house. Are we clear on this? Because you only have like an hour, 2 hours. Typically they say 3 hours, but you have this set up period of time that you absolutely hate doing. Let's be honest. Okay. It's like going to the gym. You have to do it every single day. And you want the most efficient list possible of, let's say, 50 names. Are we clear? So what are those 50 names that are loaded up, ready for you to reach out? Well, let's just talk about how to compile that list every single day for the most efficient list possible of someone who might give you money or refer someone that can give you money. All right. So the first list you are welcome to call all the time is your physical mailing list. You can probably never call them too much as long as you have a reason to call. So remember how you have your list of 150 people, your best friends, your best leads, your best sphere. You're going to have to come up with a reason to call, which will come up here in a minute. That's going to remove a lot of the anxiety. Okay. But you can call them and just log it. Probably every month, maybe every 2 weeks, maybe every 3 weeks. I'm not concerned with the frequency. But as far as much as you're comfortable, you can call your top 150, or maybe it was a top 200 or 300, whatever. Whatever your mailing list is, you can always go back to that list if you have a good reason to call. Are we clear? We can start there. If they're getting the letters, that's a click as far as I'm concerned. Call them as long as you have a reason. The frequency, let's not worry about it. That's a comfort level. And honestly, that's probably different with every relationship. Okay. Next, the people clicking the links in your emails. So when you send out your video email, all right, you know, on the 3 things you must know before you sell your house, all right, you can get a list of all the people that clicked the link to watch that email. You can also get a list of everyone that clicked the link for any of the call to actions that we may have along with that email, such as find out what your home is worth or search for homes. No matter what the size that list is, doesn't matter. If one person clicked, great, they might want to sell their house. Call them. And it goes back to you, Rob, like, yeah, we put out 300 flyers, but great, one person called, one person sold. What's wrong with that? You know, that's logical, right? So whatever those clicks are, I would reach out to those people with a reason to reach out. We'll come up with reasons here in a minute, okay? But you should take a look at the people that have been clicked the last email, maybe reference the last time you reached out to them that you logged in CRM and figure out that's going to be my call list for today. Got it? You can get that. We'll give you that report. You can actually log into your Emma account. If you want to reach out to your coach and say, invite me into my email account, you can just click a button and the button will show you, here's all the people that clicked the link right there. All right. Take those people, search them in your CRM. Hopefully you have their number. At least you have their email, and you can at least send them an email. And hopefully if you have their phone number, you can call them too. Fair enough? So that's the second part of the list. Here's the third source of coming up with like, what's the most efficient call list to find somebody who actually that needs me, is the people that have opted into your web forms. So we set up web forms for you. You might have your own web forms. When we talked about these lead generation emails, or people that just kind of magically fall into your call to actions on your website from other stuff you're doing. Anyone that's requested recently a free home value, cash offer, anyone that's opted into any of your web forms, call them. Again, reach out. Find an appointment. That's the whole point of marketing, is to like filter down the masses. We are trying to filter down the unwashed masses to get us the most efficient call list possible. That is what advertising does. That is what marketing does. All right. Now I'll give you one more. I can't do this for you, but it does exist. You likely have it. If you have a fancy CRM, it'll probably tell you everybody who's visiting your website in your CRM. So I use HubSpot at Vyral. It's expensive, but I can click a button and it will tell me everybody in the database that's recently been to the website and all the web pages you've been on and how long you've been on them, right? So we call those people. It's on our list. You're getting called, okay? It's kind of like retargeting you with phone calls, all right? I can't do that for you. We don't have that ability at Vyral, but chances are your CRM might, and that's a good list for you to also work. Fair enough? So between the people visiting your website, the people opting into your web forms, the people clicking your links, and the people you're sending physical mail to, let alone any new leads you have coming in from any lead sources, that's your list. And you're going to have to put that together the best you can and hopefully have all their contact information to reach out. Now, let's say, I'm going to skip ahead here in my list, but let's say you don't have their phone number or you don't have the best phone number. This is where you have to go look it up using some type of public data skip tracing service. They're all terrible, okay? But you can look into Spokio. You can look into Intellius, Intellius, okay? If you have their physical address, and again, I don't have any affiliation with these companies. Batch Skip Trace is a good place to go toward. David, I shared that with you. If you have their physical address, because it can find potentially the phone numbers with it. If you want, you can also go to Fiverr, Fiverr, type in Skip Trace. You'll see people from around the world that can go to various databases and try to find phone numbers. Again, they're all bad. Got it. Let's just set that as a standard. All right. And then maybe you might get lucky and find the right phone number based upon someone researching it through public data access. Fair enough. But at a minimum, especially if you're calling their clicks and they're in their CRM, likely you have their correct email. Got it. So you might find a lot of your lead follow-up is through personal emails, because you know you have that information when you reach out. Okay. So let's talk about a reason to reach out. So here you have this smorgasbord of past clients, grandma, your sister-in-law, okay? Warm leads, cold leads, random people that don't even remember they clicked on a link. Like, it's kind of like a disaster of a list, right? It's not like this list is a list of motivated sellers where they all have the same message. It's kind of a broad concoction list of everyone. So you need a reason to call them. And I'm going to give you the best reason that you can possibly come up with is you want to call because you want to invite them to an event and you want to give them a free ticket. You can use that forever. Come up with some event, come up with an excuse. I'm giving away a pie in my office. Do you want one? I'm teaching an investor workshop on a webinar. You want a free ticket? I'm teaching a seller workshop. You want a free ticket? Hey, we rented out a movie theater. We're doing a movie night. You want to come? You follow me on this? An event. Create something on Eventbrite. Doesn't matter what the event is. It's an excuse to call. You're leading when you reach out with something of value. I'm calling you because I want to give you free tickets to this. And I'm telling you, that could be the reason all the time till death do you part to call your database. And the reason to call is free tickets to an event that I'm putting on. And you can take the greenest agents that you hire that are scared to death of the phone. And that is the message they're happy to call on. Anything else they get intimidated with. You guys like that? Hey, it's Rob. I see you subscribe to my newsletter. We're friends or family, whatever. Hey, look, the reason I'm calling is I'm an agent here. I just want to invite you to this cool thing I'm doing. Want some free tickets?
And if we feel like we don't have as much time or energy to call them ourselves, are you okay with having those greeny agent calling them?
I know. That's next.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you guys are going. You're saying, oh, you know, it's funny. I always joke, like if I was pitching Vyral Marketing to like Shark Tank, they'd all be like, this is a terrible business. You're just, so you're, let me get this straight. People are going to pay you at Vyral to do more work. Like, I guess, like, you know, here's a bunch of people to call, you know, like here's a bunch of people you still have to call. So you're paying me money just to give you more work. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting way of looking at it, but it's true. Like the whole reason you're paying me money is you want a more efficient list of people to get through to find somebody who will pay you. That's the whole point. Never forget that. That's why you buy advertising. Okay. So what to say when you reach out, come up with an excuse for an event. Now, if it's not an event, which I think it always should be and is the easiest, it can also be any other offer. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know I can tell you what your home is worth now because it's probably changed. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know that it's about time where you can protest your property taxes. I can help you do that. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know that if you're looking to search for homes, I got better stuff than what Zillow is going to have you. I got MLS access. You want access? You want to see what's available for sale? Hey, you think about remodeling your house? I got the contractor. I can tell you what improvements you should make that will sell for the highest price. Want to talk? You guys see that? So that's basically the event's your go-to, but you can also come up with any other reason to call. I'm telling you, if you're ever hesitant about making calls or doing prospecting, lead follow-up, whatever it is, it's because you don't have a list and it's not clear of what list I'm going to work. Well, you have that. How many people should I reach out to? About 50 sounds right. That's pretty good. Okay, well, how do I reach out to them? I mean, every way possible. At least you have their email, but call them and text them and Facebook message them. I don't care. Use any available media to get the message to them. You got to set aside the time to do it. There's no way around this. But once you even have all that, you lock up, right? It's because I don't have a reason to call. I just gave them to you. Now, here's the other reason it doesn't get done. Is I don't remember this person and they might remember me and I'm terrified. I don't remember if I bought or sold a home with them. I don't remember how the transaction went. Did I call them last week? What did we say last time? Like you're afraid of not only having all that, but you're just going to be completely embarrassed when you call them because you forgot about the past conversation. Got it? Real talk. This is why you need a CRM. So let's say you have your list of who you're going to reach out to. You need to search their name or search their email in your CRM before you call. If they are not in there, you need to add them. Got it? Log your call in your notes of the conversation whenever you do this, because that person's probably going to click on another email link 2 weeks later. That person's probably going to go to your website, or it's just a past client on your mailing list. It's going to remove a lot of anxiety if you have the notes of the previous call or the previous attempt in CRM of what you talked about when they come up on the list again, so you don't totally embarrass yourself of forgetting about the last conversation. Are we clear on that? It's the reason people don't call. I don't have the list. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to track it. I can't reference the previous phone call, especially when you're calling warm database relationships. Because the reason people don't call their database is the fear of rejection from someone in your database is completely terrifying compared to the rejection from a stranger. It's so much easier to get entirely embarrassed from someone you call and you know than being embarrassed from a stranger. Can you guys feel me on that? So please make sure before you reach out, make sure that person's in the CRM and you leave notes. And before you call anyone on the list, you research the CRM record. I will tell you, you'll hear these people about prospecting and calling. It's like, oh, I make 100 calls a day, 200 calls a day, 500 calls a day, whatever. And they're probably on some like illegal auto dialers. That's a whole other discussion. But they're just burning through the masses of strangers trying to find somebody who will talk to them. Got it? That is a very different strategy than literally calling the most important relationships in your life. Okay? You're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to look at the CRM notes. You might even want to check their Facebook and see what's going on in their life before you call, right? You're going to spend a few minutes doing some research and reviewing this person and checking CRM and like seeing what's up about them, maybe even Googling them before you approach. And it takes about 3 minutes of time. So typically it's about 10 minutes an attempt. You have about 3 minutes of research, 3 minutes to craft the email, leave the voicemail, everything, another 3 minutes of logging what you did in CRM. So if you actually study someone doing like really quality reach outs, it's about, 7, 8, 9 minutes per quality attempt if you're doing it right. You guys catch me? So what is that per hour? 6, 7, 8, maybe, let alone if someone actually talks to you.
It's 6 hours.
I know. And this is where I need to be really clear about this. Like I'm talking to you from experience, not from like what you should do. The culture in the real estate industry is just to pound phones. You cannot take the cold calling, get as many people on the phone as possible approach when you're working the database. It is a much more methodical, emotional, researched, relationship-driven approach. It's slower. Just a philosophy. Fair enough? That's it. Just keep that in mind. Letting you know that's okay. That's real. That's what you're going to run into when you do this. Because if you're just blowing through the list, people are going to feel it and you're going to embarrass yourself. Oh, you're an active listing. Oh, whoops. Forgot. Just got fired. Okay. So with all that being said now, I can give you a list of the clicks. I can give you everything. You talk to your coach to get. The point is you're going to have a list. You don't have a reason to reach out. You're going to have to reach out and log it in your CRM. And that's really where Vyral stops. At that point, you need to hire a sales coach. At this point, you need sales training. Got it? Marketing's done its job. It's filtered down and given you the most efficient list possible. Now it's time for sales to take over. And now your sales trainer works with you on making the calls, behavior change, fear of rejection, daily accountability, role playing, practicing. That's where a sales coach comes in. My job is just to give you a list. All right. So let's say you want to be the sales coach. Let's say, well, I'm not making these calls. I'm going to find someone else to. Would you guys like to talk about that? Okay. You got a couple options here. All right. Go to your existing agents. Hey, agent, just call these people. I know you're going through all these buyer leads that opted in our website when rates are 3%. Let's just throw all those away. Got it? Call these people instead. Just change your script. Hey, this is Frank. I work for David Brownell, who you may or may not know, realtor for many years here in Vegas. And he wanted me to call you and let you know that the reason I'm calling, the reason David asked me to call you is, got it? Hey, this is Frank. I work for Rob Hale. I understand that you two may or may not know each other. He's a real estate professional here in Mesa. He asked me to call you. And the reason he asked me to call you is, got it? Got to have a reason to call. All right. So just instead of giving, you might have to wean your existing agents off the buyer leads, wean them off the cold stuff, and kind of re-philosophize them, which I did a little bit here, to go work your database leads effectively. People clicking the links, people you're sending your letters to, the people visiting the website. which is a whole smorgasbord of relationships, to start some conversations. Just give it to your existing agents. Well, Frank, I don't have any agents. Great. Here's your next step. Find an apprentice. Find an apprentice. All right. Hey, you want to learn how to sell real estate? Come work for me. I'll work with you. I'll train you. 100% commission. And I got people for you to call. I got people visiting my website. I got really great past clients on mailing. I got people clicking the links, right? What else? I got people logging my web forms. I don't have time for this. I want you to reach out. Start as my apprentice. 100% commission. Here's the split. Let's go. Get your butt in here. 3-4 hours days of calls. I'll load up the list for you. I'll give you a reason to call. I want you to email, use my brand. Like, you now train that person to do the reach outs to the list that you provide them. I'll give you the playbook. You are now the sales trainer. Got it? How do you find an apprentice? Probably go create a job ad. A real estate agent apprentice. Real estate assistant. Okay, looking for, let me see if I can find one. Hang on. I think I have it. I think I have an example. I got one for you. Hang on. I had a client do something like this. There you go. Got it. Looking to hire, this was a test, so clearly I screwed up. Looking to hire a real estate assistant. We're hiring a full-time real estate assistant. I wanted to write you to see if you or anyone you know may be looking to get into real estate here in Las Vegas. I'm hiring a full-time real estate assistant to help us answer our phones. This is an entry-level apprenticeship style role. We get about 25 inquiries a week from homeowners looking to sell their house. And again, this is by doing letters, but you can say I have people from my website, my past clients. Be honest, right? I have this list. Okay. I do a lot of marketing. I'm giving Frank money. All right. Well, I need help answering the phones and asking questions and inviting people to events and scheduling appointments for me or our listing agents to find out maybe to talk to them. And you'll stay in the role for about 6 months. No real estate license is required. I'll train you and everything. It's, you can either pay them an hourly wage to start, or you can pay them 100% commission. That's your choice. However you want to handle that. The point is like after 6 months of basically being my phone person, okay, you're going to start learning the business, and I'll hire another apprentice to start setting appointments for you. And so the junior senior model kind of grows. So just reply to this email if you or somebody knows interested in the role, et cetera, et cetera. You guys like that? So something like that would work. And this just went out to her database and she had a bunch of people reach back for the job. The same type of message here, you could post on a job ad. If you guys need like a good job board service that's not too expensive, I like Better Team. Better Team is what we use for Vyral. BetterTeam.com. It's like $38 a month. It's easy. Put job ad up, puts on all the job boards. Applicants come in, talk to them. So we have, if you want to be the sales coach, right, of someone representing your name to your best people, I don't think you're going to tell them to make hundreds of calls a day and they're going to ruin your list, right? It's going to be a slower, more methodical approach, logged correctly with a reason to call. And you're going to have to manage them and train them, get them up to speed, which is beyond the scope of what Vyral Marketing can teach you. I know a lot about it, but that's where you have to learn how to become a good sales trainer and sales manager, besides being an agent. Okay. So any questions before I get into maybe a VA, which I can talk to you about, like someone foreign? Any questions on giving it to an existing agent, or maybe hiring like an apprentice type of expectation agreement? Brandy, Rob, anything?
No, my thoughts turn to what do they say then after you have them reach out and say you may or may not have this contact,
Oh yeah, great. Let's do a script.
Great.
All right. Rob, my name's Frank Klesitz. I work for Rob Hale, who I believe you might know as a realtor here in Mesa. Do you know Rob? He asked me to call you. Do you know him?
I do.
Oh, great. I'm just kind of curious. I see you subscribe to his video emails he sends out. All I happen to have is a number and an email. How do you know him?
He's just someone that I went to school with.
Oh, cool. Great. Well, he asked me to call you. Apparently you two know each other, or you've done some business, or you went to school together. And he wanted me to give you a free ticket to the Phoenix Suns game. He has a skybox. No. Yeah, he has a skybox. He rented one. You want to come hang out at the Phoenix Suns game? Free ticket.
For sure.
Wonderful. I'll put you down. While I have you on the phone, do you own a home?
Yep.
You do? Think about selling it?
Not right now.
Well, do you know anyone who's thinking about selling?
Not that I can think of, but where do I get those tickets again?
Rob, you're killing me. We're dying here. Transactions are like 40% in Phoenix. The tickets are a bribe to get your attention. Think, is there anybody possibly that you can possibly think of that might want to buy or sell a home? Because we are desperate. I would literally say this on the phone. I'd have a great time.
Yeah.
Great. It's cool. I'll have Rob reach out, or do you have any interest? So Rob, I'm calling you Rob, I'm Rob, but would you like to talk to Rob about just maybe selling your house and what that would look like, or some improvements? Do you have any interest in talking to me as a real estate agent? Is there any reason at all that you might want to talk to a real estate agent about any future moving plans? Because I could have him call you.
No, not right now.
Okay. All right. I'll stop bothering you, man. You can go back to what you're doing. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Thanks. And when do I get those tickets?
I know. I'll have him call you. So there you go. How's that? So you lead with maybe, how do you know you? I'm calling on behalf, because and here's the thing with hiring someone to make those calls. It's so much easier because it's really hard, man. When you're reaching out, like, man, you have to like constantly judge the nature of the relationship and how well you remember and know the person, right? When someone else calls, you're like, hey, they asked me to call you. Like, how do you know them? And you can ask and update it, So it makes it a little bit easier when someone's calling on your behalf. Does that conversation help, Rob?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I guess the question that I have is more so when we, trying to find something of value when we don't have something to give like that. If they're like clicking on our links, if they're doing
Phoenix Suns tickets to your skybox,
skybox, yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's an easy one, right? And that's why people buy skyboxes. I mean, that's the business reason, right? But it could be, hey, Rob's doing a webinar on how to sell your house. Do you want a free ticket? You want me to call you off for a free ticket because he's doing a webinar on how to sell your house. Do you want to come? How about that? That's literally free.
And is there a different script too that you would use for those people that are, we get a list back after, people that click on our videos and different things like that for following up with
Rob
that?
asked me to call you because I see you subscribe to some of our videos we send out. And the reason I asked me to call you is this. Yep. Here's the deal. I will tell you this. If you are going to train someone to make the calls, it is I do it, we do it, you do it. If you want a complete disaster on your hands, is you've never done this, and then you're trying to hire someone to do it. Like if you woke up in the morning and you're like, if you're writing a business plan on how to fail, that would be it. How do I totally screw this up? There's the answer. Perfect. We're going to succeed. Got it? So with that being said, you need to do it. You need to do it with them, and then they do it. Okay. Now, let's talk about a virtual assistant. At Vyral, I have 8. Okay. So they make 400 attempts a day. Each one makes 50 attempts a day. All right. It's great. My job is to get them lists, do webinars, people visiting the website, reaching out. Hey, Frank wanted me to offer you this thing of value. You want me to invite you to this event, come to this dinner. Frank wanted to offer you a free ticket to this class. Frank wanted me to do this for you. Helpful. And with that being said, do you want to schedule an appointment or have someone call you back about talking about giving us money to help you? Right? So again, just so you can kind of see maybe how this would work to start thinking about this. So what is today? October 27th. So here's yesterday. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 callers. They each worked 8 hours, 10 hours, 7 hours. So collectively, they spent 65 hours of prospecting and lead follow-up yesterday. So 65 hours of time was spent. Now they all make $5 an hour. So we spent $329 yesterday on calling. Got it? And you see how they kind of average about 50. We reached out to 392 people, which I tried to do marketing to give them the best list possible. Got it? Of the 392 people that reached out with an item of value, Frank asked me to call you. Here's something helpful. Would you have any interest in taking an appointment? We had 56 people respond back, all the way from leave me alone, take me off your list, to maybe I'm interested in the future. You have a whole bunch of different types of responses. And from those responses, 6 people took an appointment. So 6 appointments yesterday, 2 appointments, 8 appointments, 5 appointments, 4 appointments, 6 appointments, 8 appointments, 8 appointments, 4 appointments, 5 appointments, 6 appointments. I just keep going on and on and on every single day. How many hours you prospect? How many attempts did you make? How many contacts? How many appointments? You guys have seen this, right? This is not new. The goal of marketing is to give whoever's making the calls the most efficient list possible. When they're reaching out, they understand the brand, there's trust with something of valuable to set an appointment. And imagine you can build a machine like this of your agents, of apprentices, of VAs, it doesn't matter, reaching out to find somebody who wants to give you money. That's the name of the game. So I want to show that to you. Like if you're looking to hire someone foreign, let me give you guys a couple tips if that's the direction you want to go. All right. I'd recommend $5 an hour plus $10 per appointment met. It's about $800 a month. I would tell them I want you to reach out to 50 people a day. You're going to give them an account in your email account, and you probably have to give them a phone system. We use Zoom phone, but you can use any VoIP phone system with a local number. All right. We have a daily meeting. We meet with them every single day. Say, what do people say on the phones? What feedback do you have? What email responses did you get? Let's talk about what to say. We have a book of scripts of here's the answer to any possible questions you can get. And we listen to the call recordings and review the sent emails to ensure quality every single day to make sure that they're representing the brand well. We give them the email script, to give them the phone script, and the scripts are very simple. Hey, Frank asked me to reach out to you. I believe this is the nature of the relationship. Here's why I'm reaching out. You wanted me to offer this item of value to you. And based upon the item of value, would you like to schedule an appointment to talk about solving that problem? Fair enough. That's the gist. Simple. All right. We pay them every 2 weeks, every other Monday. We use Wise, W-I-S-E. We load the money into Wise and we send them the money through Wise, which is the best conversion rate from US dollar to Philippine peso. And everyone logs their hours using Hubstaff. So hubstaff.com is what they use to manage their time. When it comes to hiring, we hire ideally people who are already employed by the major employers in the Philippines, United Healthcare, Accenture, IBM. I want someone who's currently employed there, which usually comes from a referral. We screen them with an English assessment using Test Gorilla. I'm looking for a high score intermediate English and reading comprehension.
What was the English tester?
Test Gorilla. There's a lot of them, but you gotta give them an English test. How proficient are you at English? Not only in understanding it, but also reading comprehension. How well can you comprehend it? So we do a reading comprehension, cognitive ability, English assessment. All right. Then I want to make sure that the accent isn't too thick. We use bold voice. So Bold Voice is an app on your phone that is an accent trainer to speak a neutral American accent. And there's a 10-minute assessment on there that someone can take, and it'll score them on a 0 to 100 of how neutral American accent, how good it is. So if you hire them from an existing employer that's a major American employer, they've already gone through the ringer, pay them $5 an hour plus $10 per appointment met. They may need health insurance. It's not too expensive. It's about $100 a month. It's through MaxiCare, MaxiCare is the health insurance provider. We're probably gonna have to buy a prepaid card for 6 months up front. We'll get them the health insurance. Hours are for real estate. I'd have them work 12 to 8 p.m., noon to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday will be your optimal times as a real estate agent. Still different for us, but if they're in real estate, that's when they would work 12 to 8 p.m. in your time zone. Got it? Make sure you have a do not call policy in place. Just Google it. Make sure you have written procedures, written training. If you get sued, that'll get subpoenaed. Make sure you say, look, I trained them. We have do not call procedures in place. You're going to safe harbor. Just make sure you have some do not call procedures in place, right? Meet every single day and guide them. What else do you guys want to know? That's a lot. I know a lot about that stuff though, just to help you out. But you're kind of getting into like, oh my goodness, what is this? Is a whole thing. Yes. Before you start going foreign, you need to master it yourself. Got it? And you should probably have somebody in your office that you're with every single day, like an apprentice or an agent, master it. And once they master it, then you can start investigating how can I get it in a foreign country.
And you have someone that manages those 8 folks for you?
Charles, you guys want to meet him?
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Frank.
Yeah. Hang on really quick. I'm going to show you Charles. Here's Charles.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Charles, and I'm an appointment setter here at Vyral Marketing. If you're interested in learning more about us, I can get you on a call with a senior person here. I reach out to about 50 people a day. You might be one of them. So I just want to say hello and make this video to introduce myself. Thanks for watching.
He's my guy. He's excellent. He's $6 an hour. Good pay. Sorry, Brandy, question now.
So for residential real estate, 'cause I'm assuming you're probably, are you having them call for your
Yeah.
investment business or also for viral clients? Everything.
Literally everything. I don't care
Okay.
what industry you're in. It just, any professional service is going to have to do marketing to generate leads. And a lead is a lead. Someone is going to have to call those leads and set the appointment for the closer. That's what they do. My job, marketing, is to give them the best, most efficient list possible of people knowing who we are. They reach out in a helpful way, representing the brand, asking for an appointment, and they schedule the appointment and they confirm the appointment. So the agent is just literally going on appointments all day long, or having scheduled calls of like the most bottom of the funnel, prepared patients possible to do their job. It makes things most efficient. So
Okay.
I've had him follow up with, I mean, you name it, you can have them set appointments for in any industry.
Gotcha. Okay. So, or in this case, like for Rob, would they be reaching out to his folks asking for the appointment for him?
Yes.
For the distressed property?
Well, this is the
database.
database. Remember the list. These are not cold calls. So remember the list. Are there companies out there?
So not the bot list. This is the actual list of
this
people.
This is your database. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
I only put appointment set. So here's the question. Are you going to use appointment setters for cold calling? No. I don't like that. I think it's a legal minefield. Also, it's really, really hard and morally draining doing that. It can be done. But that's not what we're talking about here today. Today in this lesson, we're talking about taking your best friends, your family, your sphere, your best seller leads, your best buyer leads. Got it? the people clicking the links in your emails, the people that have opted in your web forms. There's already an existing trust. They already know you. Hopefully they like you. They've expressed interest, maybe, in having something to do about buying or selling a house.
Okay.
But are you just going to wait for them to call you? Bankruptcy. No, absolutely not. Maybe in a really good market, not now. You're going to have to reach out. Someone's going to have to reach out, whether it's you or an agent or a VA, with a simple message. Hey, I'm reaching out because someone asked me to, or because this is the reason. Wanted to offer you something of value. I have a reason to reach out to you. That's not just asking you for money. Okay, here's something helpful. And now that I've done that, I want to ask you for money, or at least for an appointment. Would you like to meet with me? Or would you like me to have someone call you back? Typically, when you have a transfer from an appointment setter to a closer, there's 3 ways to transfer the lead. And you just got to play with which one's best. One's a live transfer. Hey, this is Frank. I work for Brandy. I see you subscribe to some of her videos. She sent out a video on 3 things you got to know before you sell your home. Are you thinking about selling your home? Oh, you are? Oh my gosh. Great. Would you like to talk to Brandy? Yes? Oh my goodness. Right? Let me get her on the line. I'll patch her in right now. Brandy, can you do a live transfer right now? Yes, I can. Great. Please hold while I transfer Brandy in. Brandy, this is Jane. Jane, meet Brandy. I'll let you 2 take it from here and take notes in the CRM for you. Got it? So that's like the live transfer. Second option is, oh, you actually want to talk to Brandy? You want to sell your house? Oh, great. Awesome. No one's really selling right now. That's great. You want to talk about that. We can help you out. I'll have Brandy call you back. What's your best name and number? I'll send an intro email right now. And then you send an intro email and you call them back because your appointment setter found someone. Fair enough. Third option is, let me schedule an appointment for Brandy to talk to you. Let me schedule a phone call. Let me schedule a time. Here's Brandy's calendar. Let me go into Calendly. Let me find a time. When's a good time to schedule a Zoom meeting with Brandy for you to talk about what you need? You just pick one of the 3 ways that works best for you. Live transfer, pass the lead, or schedule a call. How's that? So what I usually find when working with clients is they're already doing enough marketing. I want to leave you with this in this lesson. Well, we send our newsletter. I managed to get some viral videos out. I got them on my HomeBot drips. You're doing something, right? It's not optimal. I don't feel maybe the best about it, but you got something going on, right? And you have limited resources and you need business now. Where do you put your focus and your resources? It's probably this lesson. We need to get after and start getting our prospecting game back of reaching out to the people already engaging in the existing marketing before we do more marketing. You guys catch me on this, the thought process? We probably need before, and again, yes, more marketing is great. We should do that. Yes. But with very limited resources, very limited focus, and we need business right now. What do we do, Frank? Well, okay, look, all of this is great, but like, if you're already doing the marketing, let's implement this lesson today. Let's pull the list. Let's come up with a reason to call. Let's reach out with everything that we learned and see if we can find some appointments. That's it. That's my sermon today. Questions? I want you guys to be able to execute. What do you need? You guys want a VA? You guys want to hire an apprentice? Ask me anything.
Do you still use Maria?
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. So the best way to find a good VA is the holy of holies is you have someone who actually worked at one of the major employers in the Philippines. They actually worked there and they still have friends there. Okay. And they've gotten like one of the most sought after jobs there. And they've gone through the ringer getting hired by like IBM. All right. They go pull their friends from a safe, secure job because they trust you to come work for you. Best of the best. All right. So you try to find somebody that has an employment history at a major Philippine employer, or they have friends there for referrals. and you can hire them direct. You don't have to go through a staffing agency. You can, but you're going to pay double. Instead of paying 5, you're going to pay 10 if you go through a middleman staffing company. Any questions, Brandy? So for you, what you emailed, what we talked about, I want, you have your 150, right? You want to call your database? What's your reason to call them? Give me a reason.
We just had our Halloween food drive, and so I could talk about the results of that, or I could invite them to the toy drive in December.
Perfect. There you go. I want you to get a list of all of your key people in your database. You got to make it that mailing list and call them all. The reason why I'm calling is to invite you to the toy drive. This is what we're doing. Great, awesome. And by the way, I think about selling. Do you know anyone? Can you help me? It's a rough market out there. I'm trying to put some deals together. David, you're good. Rob, any questions to execute on today's lesson?
I think so.
Okay. So next week, we'll wrap it up. Next week's the last lesson together. You'll have the full 8 hours of training. These are all recorded. You can go back and watch them. I'll run them through AI, and I'll make all the notes for you too, so you can scan them all. Okay. I'm really liking this service called Grain. You guys heard of Grain? Go look at it. Go take your call recordings and take the Zoom meetings and run them through Grain. It writes like scarily accurate notes of recordings. All right. But next week we're going to talk about, okay, you have this going on. You have all this marketing going on. How can maybe you get someone to legally pay you money to help offset your costs by actually selling them advertising? How can you sell some advertising in your videos? How can you sell some advertising in your emails? How can you sell some access to your database by somebody who wants to get in front of it to help offset some of your costs? And we're going to talk about that next week. It's kind of like a cherry on top of the whole thing. But you really got to have lessons 1 through 7 going on before you start going out and asking for money, which is the last lesson. All right, we got to go. I'll see you guys later.